Terrific Tuesday, my Move the Chains audience. We are back with a new edition of this Move the Chains podcast. We're doing well today on this terrific Tuesday, like I just said at the top. Um, Great game last night. Two heavyweights going at it. The Brother Bowl going at it. Harbaugh, Jim, John. It was awesome last night. Got a lot of takes I have today, mainly on that game. What both directions are going in. I always give my post-game reaction to that. But I want to start off at the top. Last night was so cool to see at SoFi. I've never been. It's on my bucket list to go. 32 stadiums. I've mentioned that before. But it was really cool last night. And for most of my life, and obviously the Chargers played in San Diego most of my life. They always the song San Diego Superchargers with Chris Berman and Tom Jackson back in the day. They had that catchphrase. And last night was cool because it was 80% Charger fans, which is rare because my whole life, and that was the point I was getting to, was I've never seen Charger fans. It's always been like the opposing fans, like Raiders, Chargers. It's Raider fans. It's like 95-5 Raider Charger fans, like the ratio. In the last 2 weeks, now obviously bringing Harbaugh in helps. Get some excitement and some buzz and some juice. So obviously attendance was going to be up more, no question about it. But last night was just cool that like a lot of Charger fans were there that were Charger fans. So, and again, the Ravens have a good following. Like they travel well. The Ravens, the Packers, these big brands do. I would say Bear fans, Raider fans. I've been to a bunch of them. So it was cool last night from that perspective. If you're a fan of those teams, and I wanted to start on the Chargers side of this. So I've seen this movie with Harbaugh before. Everybody's surprised and shocked that they're right now 6 in. I think it was 4. I have to go look at the record. But I'm not shocked that this is happening. Harbaugh, I've seen this my whole life. And I was thinking about this tonight as I was getting out. I was getting out of the shower and I was trying to think of stuff. And my take is Harbaugh does this every time. Michigan, it took a couple years. He got it rolling and got a natty and got out of there. The Niners, I saw this evident that first year. Niners had a bunch of good players, but were awful. Terrible before we got there. They were lifeless. Boom, NFC Championship game. Now, could they have won that championship game? Sure. Minus the Kyle Williams fumble, and that was just kind of a weird game. And Niners, Giants in San Francisco. But I'm not going to be surprised. Like, if the Chargers make the playoffs this year, don't be shocked. That's okay. Now, listen. How far they go, I don't know. My guess is they'll probably get one and done. And that's okay. Because I don't see this Charger team being, like, they're going to get better. And I think last night proved to me, Justin Herbert's elite. Like, we don't need to, stop telling me he's not. He's elite. I've seen this movie. He's great. Now, the difference is now, they're not asking him to put the Superman cape on all the time. They're giving him help. They're supporting him, which I think you need to do with these young quarterbacks. You got to support them. Got to help them a little bit. You're seeing it with Bo Nix. You're seeing it with Jaden Daniels. You're seeing it with Drake May a little bit in New England. Like, give him some time. But last night, Herbert, I've been sold on. Now, again, I wasn't sold on him in college to revisit history. But I was sold on the player, like how big he is. He's just crazy. And he's freakishly good. Now, my point is, last night, he just, it got away from him. The Ravens wear on you. And, that first half, Chargers, I was like, they might Charger this game. Chargering is a word because they've done this my whole life. But it's different with Harbaugh because this team is so physical and they're tough. It's refreshing. I mean, last night was so refreshing that these teams are just hitting and smacking. And it's so refreshing because I know the NFL is not as physical as it once was. And I get people can claim it's soft, pussy shit. I get all that. But every once in a while, I got to sit down and I got to watch a slobber knocker kind of game. And, I don't know I think this Ravens-Charger thing is going to be a rivalry from here on out because this Charger team, and I'm getting to this point for the Chargers I'm trying to, is that I think they're becoming the Lions. In the fact that they They have their tackles all set up in terms of offensive line. You need to get better run game, get some better backs. I think J.K. Dobbins' story and how he's played this year has been great. And all right, because last night he got his ankle rolled again. I'm a little worried. And the receiving course kind of hit and miss. I mean, Quentin Johnson, I could just tell is bust. Like, he can't catch the ball. I don't know what's going on. Where's his head's at? I don't know. He did it last year in the Green Bay game up in Lambeau when Jordan Love went on that ridiculous tear after that bye week, I believe it was. And then last night, I mean, it's in the hands. You got to catch it, dude. So, I just, to me, the Chargers are right there. They're really close. And what I mean to the Lions is they need to get, like, some speed, which I think they will. I think Matt McConkey will become the version that the Lions have at St. Brown. They have their tackles. They have Decker, like the Lions, Decker, Sewell. The Chargers, Alt, Slater, put Picks in. Good. It's what you should do as a team building. But they're going to be good. And as long as they got Herbert and they got Harbaugh, that combo, they're going to last a long time. And I don't think this roster for Herbert's going to be as bad as it is right now. And it's not bad. I'm just saying you got a couple years to do this thing. And this offseason, they're going to hit it hard in terms of getting players that fit the Chargers. They have their safety. Their corners are okay. They're not bad. Linebacking's okay. You still got Mack and Bosa coming off the edge. You got players there. Now, it's just got to come down to, okay, get this, build it up. Because it could be like coming to Detroit where it's like, holy shit, watch out. Like, they got everything. Put more pieces around it. Get a Derrick Henry. Get a Zay Flowers type of receiver opposite of Ladd McConkey. And now you got something. And I saw this in San Francisco. Harbaugh that first year in NFC Championship game, second year. NFC Championship game, Super Bowl. I see this kind of same thing. And I know for years and years, I've always said the Vikings and the Chargers are the same boat. They never won a Super Bowl. They've gotten to close. They hit that ceiling. AFC Championship game, NFC Championship game, both franchises. And the Lions are kind of like this. Now, when Herbert came in the league, he was Superman all the time. Because it almost felt like Detroit-ish with Matt Stafford early on, where it's like, Jesus, okay, this guy is putting up all these great numbers and all this, but he's not getting wins. But now I think he can be Clark Kent. It's like, I can take a step back, let the other guys cook. And I think that's cool. And I think Chargers right there to recap. And don't be surprised that they're in the Super Bowl a couple years. I said that earlier in the year on one of my videos. I'm going to say it again. This team's loaded. And they just get them a little bit more time, a little more juice, and a little bit more spice on offense. And this thing could take off like a rocket ship. Ravens, last night. John Harbaugh's an excellent coach. And Lamar, come around on him. Now, again, I got to see it when the playoffs come, when it's nut-cutting time against Allen, against Mahomes, where he's struggled a little bit. But Lamar is just a unique talent. I always thought Michael Vick was the best running quarterback I've ever seen. Wrong. This guy is. Because you can blitz him. Fine, go blitz him. I don't care. He's going to beat you. I mean, he's just improving so much. Him and Todd Monken, this offense, the blend of the Georgia running game with that offensive line down there was mauling people and smashing people. And combine it with this play-action game that Lamar has under center, which I've been told years ago, Mike Lombardi, I think it said this last year, on one of my podcasts, he keeps mentioning how pissed he was with Greg Roman. And how, it's not a shot at Greg Roman, I think he's doing a fine job with the Chargers. But my point is, like, he just wasn't doing the crop back game. It was all out of gun, it was all out of RPO, which is fine. But you got to incorporate a little bit more, get some more juice and flair into it. And that marriage last night, and the receivers look good. Mark Andrews has always been one of my favorite players. He was a stud at Oklahoma. He's stud in the league. He was having a great year last year before that ankle hip drop tackle injured him. I felt so bad for him because he was a stud. But this Ravens team, and listen, Derrick Henry was kind of and then kicked it up the hyperdrive, crack open the beer, stone cold, yeah, brother, let's go. Just like my t-shirt, I'm going to go get a steel chair and hit somebody in the fucking head. Let's go, baby. So, it was great last night. It was just cool and refreshing to see Chargers actually have fans now. It's crazy what one guy can do to a whole franchise and get that thing juiced up. So, great win for the Ravens. They're still an elite team, and they're just well run. And I just admire the way that they run their operation. There's a hierarchy. Steve Bisciotti, DaCosta, Harbaugh, they all align. They're just elite. And I just wish sometimes these teams could take that formula and be patient and have good owners and just kind of do the hierarchy. And last but not least, I just had to hit on something because I thought this was funny. So, Urban Meyer, when he was coaching Jags, and again, my take on Urban Meyer has always been a great college coach, but a piece of shit scumbag. Not disputing how great he is in college, because he won. And him, Nick Saban, Kirby Smart, Dabo, these guys have won. And they've done a great job. But Urban kind of pissed me off, because he ran away when the going got tough. Florida, all the sanctions coming down. I'll run like a bitch. Ohio State, same thing. Zach Smith beat his wife. Bye-bye. Don't love that. And then he had all those guys on the team, Aaron Hernandez, all that shit. And then I saw Swamp Kings, and he's a scumbag. And I thought it was funny. They had I was reading a comment. Vrabel was on the Manning cast last night. And Urban Meyer said, "Who are you?" to Vrabel. And Vrabel said, "Well, you know who I am. I was on your staff for 2 years," because he's an Ohio State guy. And so when I heard that, and it just kind of screamed to me, egomaniac central. And Urban, what's so crazy to me is that he got fired, didn't even last a full year in the NFL. That's how bad he was. NFL coaching's not for everybody. If you're a college guy, you're a college guy, whatever. Only been a handful of guys that can do both and do them really well. Jimmy Johnson, Jim Harbaugh, and Pete Carroll. That's it. But and then he got fired, and then he goes right back to television. He can't even just sit back, reflect, and go, "I'm going to hang out with my family, going to do all this." He's just nuts. And with Urban, it's like, dude, do you not get it? Like, I don't think he got the temperature room. And some guys are just meant for college. So I just found that funny. And the other thing I wanted to touch on, and then I'll get out of here tonight. It's great having you guys in. Was I was thinking, the Bears opening's going to be open up with Eberflus being gone. He's 5-18 in one-score games. They're just not playing, they're not closing these games out. I keep hearing Mike Vrabel's name to the Bears. And I was thinking about this tonight. I don't think that's going to work. And I say that because Kevin Warren's the president. Now, I've told you my stance on Kevin Warren. I think the guy's a weirdo. I mean, he's a Big Ten guy, Vrabel is. And you think he's going to go to Kevin Warren, it's going to be all sunshine and rainbows? Hell no, it's not. That's bad. That's a bad combo. That's water. That's water and that's a powder keg waiting to happen. So be careful because, listen, the Bears, they could get Vrabel, and I think they'd be really competitive and tight. But I kind of feel like the Bears need to go in an offensive direction. Now, could they bring in a Kingsbury? I'm not sure. I don't think he's fit to be a head coach. I saw in Arizona, kind of loosey-goosey. We shall see. So that's all I want to get on here tonight with you guys. Like I always say every week, stay tuned throughout the week. I got more videos coming up. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. It's coming up in a couple days. I can't believe we're already Thanksgiving already. God help us. And Christmas just around the corner. Holy shit. But hope you guys are doing well on this terrific Tuesday. Hit the like, subscribe, share button, and talk to you guys soon.